due to aging infrastructure. The project was made possible by a $325 million budget allocation from the state. The facility will care for patients that are now served at both the Hawthorne Center and Walter P. Reuther Psychiatric Hospital in Westland, totaling nearly 200 patients.
Greenfield Village at the Henry Ford in Dearborn will soon be home to another significant part of civil rights history. The Jackson House, which currently is in Selma, Alabama, was one of the places Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other leaders meant to plan that march to Montgomery. The house will be dismantled over the next year and rebuilt here in Metro Detroit. 7 Action News reporter Whitney Burney spoke to curators about just how soon you could experience that history firsthand.
At the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn.
I'm visiting from Virginia Tech from Blacksburg area.
Visitors like Carol Geary are transported back in time, getting a chance to sit in the very seat Rosa Parks refused to give up more than 60 years ago.
I first thought of how Rosa was elected to be self-selected through whatever group to be the person to make the stand, and it felt weirdly powerful.
The bus is a part of the With Liberty and Justice for All exhibit, and soon the Henry Ford will expand its collection of civil rights history. They recently acquired the Jackson home in Selma, Alabama, a meeting place for civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as they planned the historic march to Montgomery.
The house became a safe haven for Dr. King during the time period when they were planning the Selma to Montgomery March. And many other civil rights activists and colleagues of his came to the home during that time.
President and CEO of the Henry Ford, Patricia Mouradian, says the home will be dismantled and rebuilt in Greenfield Village. Greenfield Village is already home to several historical buildings, including the Logan County Courthouse, where young Abraham Lincoln practiced law. Soon it will also be home to the Jackson House. The house will also have most of its original furniture, namely a chair that Dr. King watched President Lyndon B. Johnson's historic We Shall Overcome speech.
When you're immersed in that history, you can understand it a little better, you can feel something. Our goal is to always make our visitors just a little bit more curious about something so that they're inspired. And if they can just go out and do one more thing to make a difference, that's what our goal is.
The museum says they're aiming to have the home built and open for visitors to walk through in the next 2 to 3 years. In Dearborn, Whitney Burney, 7 Action News.
The spike at the pump ahead on 7 Action News, why experts say the gradual gas price increase isn't going away anytime soon.
Next on 7 Action News, COVID and brain fog. Our Dr. Nandy taking a look at the long-term impact of the pandemic on our mind.
Coming up all new tonight on 7 Action News at 6, new concerns about a highly contagious fungus.
I have 3 girls, and I just try to make sure that they can stay as healthy as possible. I also have an autoimmune disease, so because of that, we have to be careful with certain things.
It's spreading throughout healthcare facilities in Michigan and is drug resistant.
It's a multi-facility outbreak, so pretty much every hospital is struggling with it.
What health experts want you to know about the fungal outbreak. It's coming up all new tonight on 7 Action News at 6. Stick around and join us.
We'll see you then, Mike. Thank you. In today's health alert, could COVID still be having an effect on your brain? A recent study found parts of the virus may remain in the brain long after a person has recuperated from the infection. Here with the details for us is our chief health editor, Dr. Parthanandi. So it's my understanding roughly 15% of people infected with COVID can have lasting symptoms. So could this study give us a reason for that?
Yeah, I could definitely offer a possible explanation, Brian. The CDC has a laundry list of symptoms of people with long COVID that they can suffer with, and they do vary from person to person. The most common long COVID symptoms include brain fog, memory problems, and difficulty thinking or concentrating. So I found it interesting that scientists in Germany found that the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein can persist in the brain long after recovery. Now, how did they figure this out? Well, they analyzed post-mortem samples of humans and animals and found substantial accumulation of the virus's spike protein in what's called niches, small openings in the skull's bone marrow. And the protein was also found in thin layers of cells called the meninges, and the brain's parenchyma, the functional tissue in the brain. The theory is this, that the virus fragments may accumulate and not only build up, but also trigger inflammation that could lead to long COVID symptoms like brain fog. The hope is that with this research that it leads to tests to identify those that are more at risk of developing brain complications, and very importantly, treatments that can help prevent long COVID's debilitating brain symptoms.
All right, learning new words, meninges and
Nandy too, it's like that.
And Nandy as well. Well played, sir. All right, so there's some good news, right? Respiratory viruses like COVID kind of going down, but there's some new variants.
Absolutely. So good news is that, many variants, many respiratory viruses like the flu, RSV, and COVID are down. It's been a rough winter for many, and yes, a new Omicron variant has landed here in the U.S. and is spreading quickly. It's called XBB.1.1.6. It's also known as the Arcturus. It appears to have a higher transmissibility rate, but the good news is that it does not seem to be any more dangerous than other Omicron variants or strains. That's mostly because of the high vaccination rates and immunity from prior infections. However, Arcturus is causing a new symptom mostly seen in kids, and that's itchy red eyes. The fancy scientific name is conjunctivitis, but most people call it pink eye. As annoying as it may be, it can be managed and treated if needed. Of course, I'd like to remind folks that people are still dying from the virus. Unfortunately, just over 1,300 Americans died this past week. Over 11,000 are hospitalized. So if you're at risk of developing severe illness, please be vigilant and take precautions. That means getting the booster shot, masking when necessary, and seeking medical advice if you get sick. There's treatment that works very well, and if it's taken as soon as possible after diagnosis. But with all of this long COVID, I think the idea is that we have research now that can hopefully prevent this, because this is a big problem for many people.
A great reminder that we are still living with this. We're still learning more about it, but we can live with it.
Exactly.
All right, Dr. Nandy, grateful as always. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, if you have a health question for the doctor, you can email him, Dr. Nandy at askdrnandy.com, or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter.
All right, let's turn now to the forecast. A live look over Southfield, and I think I see sun there. Looks
Trying,
like
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit shocking. I mean, we went from 70s and 80s way too early just to get us out of joint here,
Right.
and then we threw it back into way too cold. This isn't just a return to normal, so this is tough go already here as we go along. It's way colder than it should be, and you shouldn't be seeing snow on this whole radar, but we are, and there's more snow than rain out there, as a matter of fact. This batch out west of 23 is working its way toward the east, and that will be an issue as we go along here for a while. So rotating through in the next few hours, I think by 8 o'clock, most of what you see on the radar has moved through, and most of what will be around this evening will have moved through. There's just a lingering slight chance in the overnight, but still will be some showers this evening. Roads should stay just wet because of all that warmth that we got last week and over the weekend. This thing is anchored up here, kind of sort of by Alpena, and it's going to slowly work its way off to the northeast. So tomorrow, we're still stuck underneath these clouds, and that means we're still very chilly. You saw the cloud line out here. So it goes from 39 to 49 from Wisconsin to Minneapolis. Chicago to eastern Iowa jumps almost 20 degrees. So we're locked in, unfortunately, for another day tomorrow. It will be chilly again. Grand Rapids 35, Detroit's 38 right now, and 39 in Bad Axe Marquette, only at 30. Yeah, and it's a tough go here. Here's the local radars. Again, more snow showers than rain showers as we've dropped a degree or two off now to 38 in Detroit, 39 in Lapeer, and 37 in Adrian. So it makes a difference, just those couple of degrees. But again, it looks like even though this is going to come through and get a bit more intense for a while this evening, then by most of it's 10 o'clock is starting to wind down, just a very slight chance overnight. The roads should again stay just wet because of our warmth from the weekend here. So as you look into the following week, the coming week, I guess I should say, there is an upward trend. It just takes a little while, probably longer than you'd like. So tonight's chilly. This evening we're at 38, more snow showers than rain showers going by. Overnight we're down to 34 in Detroit. There will be some spots at or below freezing. But again, because of the warmth that's been gained here, I think we're still okay on the roads. Most of the moisture's gone by the morning drive. 46 tomorrow. It's a high temperature. We should be at 59 this time of year. We get close to that on Wednesday, and then from there we go to 74 Thursday, 64 Friday, so we're all over the place. By Sunday, we could be back to the 40s again. But these changes mean shower and thunderstorm chances on Wednesday. It's late Thursday. It could be early and late. Might add some thunder in there, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, some showers as well. So after our little hiatus of spring into summer last week, this is all over the place this week.
Wow. All right, Dave, thank you. Tonight, Michigan gas prices kind of all over the place, too. They're the highest they've been since the start of the year. Right now, drivers in our state are paying $3.71 an average for a gallon of unleaded. That's 9 cents higher than last week, but 19 cents lower than last year. Metro Detroit drivers are paying a little less, with an average at $3.66. That's still nearly 20 cents lower than last year. AAA reports the main culprit of the rising price, high cost of oil, which is hovering around $80 a barrel range. Experts say as long as oil costs are still at this level, drivers will see a slow uptick in prices at the pump.
Denied a new trial. Still to come on Action News at 5, why an appeals court is upholding the conviction of a Minneapolis police officer in the death of George Floyd.
And wrong door controversy. The demands for action after a teenager was shot in the head while trying to pick up his siblings. Protesters in Kansas City are demanding justice after a homeowner opened fire on an innocent black teenager.
Police say 16-year-old Ralph Yarl was shot in the head on Thursday when he showed up at the wrong home. The high school junior's parents asked him to pick up his siblings at an address on 115th Terrace, but he mistakenly went to 115th Street instead. The shooter was brought in, but later released pending further investigation.
The information that we have now, it does not say that it's racially motivated. That's still an active investigation. But as a chief of police, I do recognize the racial components of this case. I do recognize and understand the community's concern.
Yarl now in stable condition at the hospital. Meantime, the community is calling on Clay County prosecutors to identify, arrest, and charge the man responsible.
An appeals court is upholding the conviction of a former Minneapolis police officer for the murder of George Floyd. Lawyers for Derek Chauvin argued that extensive pretrial publicity and the court's refusal to change the venue were grounds for a new trial. But a 3-judge panel from the Minnesota Court of Appeals disagreed, saying Chauvin failed to show actual prejudice. The ruling comes just days after Minneapolis settled 2 civil lawsuits totaling $9 million from 2 additional cases involving Chauvin and the use of excessive force.
Requests denied. Still to come on Action News at 5, why the U.S. Supreme Court says it will not be taking up a case between 2 Detroit automakers.
And farewell to a freeway, why MDOT wants your input on the future of I-375.
And here's a look at what happened on Wall Street today. The Dow up 100 points, the NASDAQ increasing 34 points, and the S&P 500 up 13. We'll be right back.
All new at 5:30, reconnecting the community. MDOT hoping to make 375 what it once was.
I don't think we can ever recreate Black Bottom and Paradise Valley, but it would be great if African-American businesses have a first shot.
We take a look at the past and potential future of I-375 and why MDOT wants to hear from you.
Wedding worries, a major bridal company filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. What it means for brides-to-be in Metro Detroit.
Eyes on the pros.
I understand your living situation is pretty unique, especially even compared to some of your teammates.
Yeah, I live on a farm out here.
How a top hockey prospect in Michigan is getting ready for the NHL while still getting his hands dirty.
7 Action News at 5:30 starts right now.
The project to revamp I-375 in downtown Detroit still roughly 2 years away, but MDOT wants your thoughts on how to design it. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Brian Abel. On Wednesday, MDOT is holding an open house at Eastern Market to gather ideas from the community.
The project will return the I-375 freeway to a regular city street. The street once served as a major thoroughfare for Black-owned businesses in the city before it was razed and eventually converted into a highway.
7 Action News reporter Brett Cass takes an in-depth look at the upcoming project and the history that brought us here.
The project have been ongoing for nearly a decade, but soon this dugout highway is going to become a street-level boulevard that
All right, we'll get back to that story with Brett, an important story for our community. But now to the U.S. Supreme Court. Will not hear General Motors' racketeering lawsuit filed against Fiat Chrysler in 2019. The Detroit automaker asked the justices to review claims against its crosstown rival after the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a ruling to dismiss the lawsuit. GM alleges FCA, now Stellantis, bribed union leaders to get better contract terms when the late Sergio Marchionne was running the company, costing them billions of dollars. General Motors says it will continue to press its case in state court.
There is a looming debate over the evolution of the death penalty. While some states have been issuing fewer death sentences with even fewer executions, some states are going in the opposite direction. The most recent state to buck this trend is Florida. This week, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis expected to sign new legislation to lower the threshold needed for capital punishment. Scripps News' correspondent Joe St. George taking a look at a growing push to change rules around the death penalty.
Across the country, a trend is happening. Fewer executions in fewer states. Look at this map. 37 states have either abolished the death penalty or have not carried out an execution in at least 10 years.
But in those select states where executions are still occurring, there's a unique movement happening. Some want to make it easier to sentence someone to death, while in other states, there's a push to change the way individuals are executed.
And nowhere is the debate greater right now than in the state of Florida, where the state legislature just passed a bill lowering the threshold for capital punishment. For years in Florida, the jury must be unanimous. The new legislation would get rid of that requirement. The proposal that passed last week makes an 8-4 vote sufficient enough. For years, only these 3 states allowed a death sentence when the jury isn't unanimous. In Indiana and Missouri, a judge can decide when a jury's divided. In Alabama, the jury can vote 10-2.
I think it's justified.
Max Schachter welcomes the idea. He lost his son Alex in the Parkland school attack, one of 17 people murdered. The shooter in that 2018 massacre was given a life sentence and not a death sentence because the jury could not reach a unanimous decision.
If the Parkland murderer who hunted down children and staff and shot them from down the hall did not deserve the death penalty, then why do we even have the death penalty?
At the D.C.-based Death Penalty Information Center, a research group critical of the way the penalty is applied, staffers say what is happening in Florida goes against the trend of fewer executions.
This is somewhat of a step backward.
Executive Director Richard Dieter says the reason so many state governments enacted a unanimous threshold was to eliminate any doubt the person may be innocent.
Innocent people had been discovered on death row.
How many people have been sentenced to death and then were later freed?
191 people since 1973.
Florida isn't the only state making news regarding the death penalty process. Idaho's Republican Governor Brad Little signed legislation last month making the state the 5th in the country to allow execution by firing squad when lethal injection drugs are unavailable. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
Love is patient, or is it? Still ahead on 7 Action News, the fallout after a massive delay on a Netflix hit show reunion.
And left in limbo, David's bridal filing for bankruptcy. What it means for brides here in Michigan. Mike.
Brian, Glenda, coming up all new tonight on 7 Action News at 6. The man accused of killing an activist in Ann Arbor facing a judge today.
I was shocked, and I realized that this is the way I walk to the Y. Several times a week, so it was a little bit scary.
I'll tell you why police say they recognized the man caught on surveillance video right away.
Plus, the controversy surrounding a mega church in Detroit.
We didn't look for the fight, but we're not running from it either. The city has no right to do what they're attempting to do.
Our Carolyn Clifford is giving you an exclusive look inside Perfecting Church and the stalled development of the property that has the city taking legal action. We'll have these stories and so much more coming up all new tonight on 7 Action News at 6. Stick around and join us.
Well, if you're engaged, listen up. The largest bridal retailer in the country just filed for bankruptcy.
Yep. Today, David's Bridal filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Last week, the company announced it was laying off 9,000 of its roughly 10,000 employees. It blames changing tastes in weddings, where casual ceremonies are becoming more popular, and some women are opting for thrift dresses.
David's Bridal plans to keep its 300 stores open for now while it looks for a buyer. If it doesn't find one, the company may have to close those stores. In a message to brides, the company said delivering every order on time remains their singular focus.
McDonald's is rolling out some upgrades aimed at making its burgers better. The changes include softer buns, gooier cheese, and onions added right from the grill. And the Big Mac will soon be served with more sauce. Customers can already try out this new and improved burger in some U.S. cities, including LA, Seattle, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. The fast food giant says the new menu will be available nationwide by early next year.
Frustrated fans are lashing out after that Netflix Love is Blind reunion went off the rails last night. Viewers saying they were blindsided as the highly anticipated season finale was delayed and plagued by technical glitches. It ended up airing 2 hours late, but not live. And even then, only a fraction of viewers were able to find it. Netflix apologized for the wait, assuring fans the reunion show is now available to stream.
All right, now for a check of the forecast, and let's see if Dave was watching Love is Blind.
I was not, but I was watching the radar, and it had some showers and storms yesterday. Behind that cold front, it is, more snow showers than rain showers. It doesn't last forever. It's spring, right? We'll tell you.